The movie you're making me watch today is Brimstone, directed by Martin Koolhoven. Suggested.
He's Dutch, man. He's a Dutch guy.
Isn't that weird?
It's weird.
Fasha? He's saying farger? Farger?
Faja.
Farger? What's a farger?
I gotta watch that movie again.
Suggested to Schwartz by Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, that was a true story.
Yeah, true story. He loves his favorite movie.
This is where he gets his character from. He's like, I try to be like the guy in Brimstone. I just intimidates people.
That'd be fucking awesome if that was true.
Be terrible.
Yeah.
What is your word for this movie? Schwartz, Brimstone. Cool.
I mean, I know it's generic, but you got to go with brutal. This is a brutal fucking movie.
Brutal. Jake.
That was yucky.
Yucky's a
Yucky.
good one. Yucky's a good one.
There's a lot of yucky in it.
There's a lot of yuck in this movie.
That guy's fucking yucky, dude.
Yeah. But played really, really well by Guy Pearce.
Guy Pearce did a good job at acting.
Yeah.
He's a good actor.
He's a good
He
actor.
is.
Acting.
What's your word, Anthony?
Bleak.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this didn't have much promise of ever getting.
Nah.
Getting like nominated for anything? Is that what you said?
No, I said it didn't have any, like, it never looked like it was going to get, like, any better
yeah.
than it was, meaning that,
No.
like, it was dark and bleak, and it never does.
It went backwards and kept getting worse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty much.
in the Venice Film Festival, it competed for the Golden Lion, which is, like, basically, like, the best picture category, and it was, like, caused a lot of controversy. People were like, how the fuck could this movie be nominated for this? It's so fucking bad. And not bad, it was well made, and I think it's entertaining, but it's fucking dark.
Yeah, the subject matter is very
Yeah.
disturbing.
Yeah.
At times.
Disturbing.
Yeah, I didn't actually think it was going to go as far as it did at times, and when it did, I was like, holy shit.
Every time it went.
Mhm.
Every time it went that far.
Yeah, it went a little too far
Yeah.
every time, I'm not going to lie.
Every time.
Dakota Fanning was great, though. Dakota Fanning was really good.
Dakota Fanning was phenomenal. The acting was great.
Yeah.
Acting's good.
Acting in this movie was really good. Jon
I think-
Snow coming in the third act.
Yeah, he was cool. You know who was supposed to play him was R. Pats, and he backed
Oh.
out last minute.
I could see
They got
that.
old Kit Harrington.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Sounds like
Dakota
a fake name.
originally. She wasn't
Sounds
the
like a
original
name
one
from
either.
Family Guy.
No, Dakota Fanning was the second choice. The first choice was Mia Wasikowska, the chick from
Oh, that's
Crimson
right.
Peak and Stoker. She was the first pick.
Yeah, Fanny did good though.
She
it
was
was
great.
It was so weird because I like for some reason I still associate with her as her like child roles. I don't know why. So it's like
Signs.
yeah, like that and like
No, she
this-
wasn't in Signs. She was in
Sam I Am.
Wasn't she in
like,
Signs?
No, that was
Oh, she
Abigail
was a little
Breslin.
kid.
She was in War of the
Same thing.
Worlds. She was in
Yeah.
I Am Sam. She was in Man on Fire.
World.
So it's just like weird seeing her in like a role like this. And even like when she was in
Once Upon a Time?
Yeah, that was just
Yeah.
strange to see. Like that's Dakota Fanning,
Yeah.
and like this was weird because she's like banging old dudes. I just look at her as like a little girl. still.
she's our age.
She's strange.
She's hard.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, she's not. She's probably like 30, probably close
Yeah.
to 30.
So, well, all right. That's our
Yeah,
age though.
That's
Yeah.
true. It just
Ish.
doesn't. I don't know why. It just seems she just seems much younger than me. But I
Well,
guess
she
she's
still has
not.
a young face though. She still looks
Yeah.
pretty young. Yeah.
those like baby
sis-
eyes.
Look at her
I also
sister.
knew
Her
her.
sister's like grown up now too. The chick from
True.
Neon Demon. Like she's like 24, 22, 23.
She kind of annoys me.
Yeah, she's not as good of an actor in my opinion. I mean, I love Neon Demon, but it wasn't for her performance. It was just how
She
fucking
always-
that movie was.
Yeah, she's always like the same like.
What was that
innocent
JJ
girl
movie
with
she
like
was
the,
in?
the soft
Oh,
voice? The eight something,
Super 8.
Super 8.
Eight,
Yeah,
Super 8.
That's a
That
good
was a good
movie.
movie.
That's just an homage to fucking Spielberg movies.
yeah. In hotels.
top 5 train crashes.
Yeah.
movie.
Great train crash.
That was one of the movies like I remember really liking it the first time I saw it, but then I saw it again and I was kind of like, eh.
I think once you see that the first time,
Yeah.
the factor of it being so nostalgic to all the movies that Spielberg and Lucas made, like then you're kind of like, first time you're like, that was awesome. Second time you're kind of
Yeah.
like, all right. It is cool though. It is fun. It's a fun movie. I mean, you can put up there with the Goonies. You know what I mean? It's that type of movie.
Goonies. Goonies-esque.
Yeah.
Spielberg-esque.
100%. The scene though where the train crashes and they're shooting their movie is pretty fucking good. Pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. I remember visually it's super dope.
Yeah, well, all JJ's movies
that was like the main
lens
factor of
flares
that
and
movie,
fucking flying camera.
Yeah,
like
and
his
they had
Star
that,
Trek.
and then
His
the
Star Trek
nostalgia,
movies
for
are
sure.
like ridiculous. His Star Trek movies are fucking awesome for that.
Yeah, it was like if Jurassic Park was an Alien meets Goonies.
That's exactly. And you know who was the EP on that movie? Steven Spielberg.
Spielberg,
Kathleen Kennedy.
Yep,
Yeah.
both of them I think were.
That felt like the torch pass movie that didn't really maybe pan out for the long run, but it seemed like at the time Spielberg was giving it to like JJ's the new guy.
Well, if anybody is Spielberg-esque, it's J.J. Abrams.
For sure.
It's definitely J.J. Abrams.
JJ.
And he was like at that time he was kind of really on the come up because he was doing the Star Trek.
Lost
and all
that just
and
ended and all that
yeah,
shit.
I think he
Yeah.
maybe was I don't know if Star Wars was announced
Star
by then.
Star
but,
Trek was way before Star
but-
Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm saying I don't know if he was announced for Star Wars, but at
I
that
don't think
point
so.
in the career, I don't remember what year that was.
JJ's first film as a director was Mission Impossible 3.
Nice.
Really,
Yeah, which was the one with Philip Seymour Hoffman as the villain.
haven't seen it.
It's good.
Oh, it's good.
It's good. All those Mission Impossible movies are really, really good.
They're all good.
Well,
They're all
saying
good.
saying it's directed by J.J. Abrams with Philip Seymour Hoffman as a villain does make me want to see that.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
So,
doesn't that make your
maybe-
pee hard a little bit?
It did. It woke up, and yeah, I've actually thought about watching.
like I'm doing this?
I'm just doing just crunches. Where was I?
Sorry.
You're talking about how you want to watch J.J. Abrams directs Philip Seymour
Oh
Hoffman.
yeah. That's it. I was thinking about
Fuck yeah.
watching the Mission Impossibles because
You
people
should,
seem
dude.
to really like them, and
There should.
I just
And
never.
the crazy part
never
is
got
that
into 'em.
they're on 7 and they're all standalone good. Like every
And
single
T.
one.
Cruz is doing the craziest shit for a
Yeah,
90-year-old
He's
man.
doing all that shit. Yeah.
And
what's
knowing Seven's coming out, it'd be like fun to see that in the theater because I remember.
no,
I
8's
think I
coming
saw
out.
Eight's coming out. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Wow. Because I remember seeing the first
up.
one when I was a kid in the theater, and it was dope.
Dude,
And
the
for some
first one-
reason,
This
I
one's not
never-
unlike
The
from
first
2
one-
on. They're all the
since then.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the directors, you got Brian De Palma, John Woo, J.J. Abrams, and who did the fourth one? Who did Ghost Protocol?
The second one is pretty good.
Second one is my favorite one. That's John Woo's one. Yeah, that's my favorite one. That one is
What,
just
what happens
John
in that?
Woo.
I'm trying to remember if I saw.
so he's
Mission
trying to
Impossible too.
stop Australian villain from unleashing a virus called Chimera on the world.
Mhm,
It's
I don't know.
very those movies are very James Bondy,
Yeah.
but
for sure.
they're more stylized and well, I don't know, James Bond's pretty stylized. I don't
Especially the
know
new shit,
difference.
James Bond. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a little
They're just Mission Impossible. They're like
They
it's
are, yeah.
its own thing.
yeah. The newer one though,
Was
the
it a
one that
TV
came
show
out-
before it was?
I think it was in
a
like the
movie?
60s. Yeah, I think it was a TV show in the 60s.
Yeah, it was. You know
Yeah.
who would make a good James Bond?
Me.
Who?
Going
Idris Elba?
circling back, Guy Pearce.
He's Australian though.
Yeah, but people don't know that.
Yeah, I
You
think
know that,
Idris.
but-
I think Idris Elba would be my number one choice.
Yeah, but he's he's English. I
He's
forget.
English.
I thought he was from Baltimore
What about
because I
Kit
watched The Wire.
Harrington?
No, Kit Harington's too small. He's
What?
too small, dude. Dude's like 5'5".
We need a little troll Bond.
No, you know who would be a good James Bond, even though he's small? Tom Hardy.
He's small.
Buff Bond.
Tom Hardy's like 5'7", 5'8".
Oh no shit! I had no
Yeah,
idea.
he just looks huge because he played Bane.
He's just a little Tom Cruise himself.
Mm-hmm.
So they could act together and be like,
What
oh
if
look at these
Tom
tall
Cruise
giant
was the
dudes.
next James Bond. They just were like, fuck it.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, is Fassbender British? Or is he American?
Yeah, I think he is British. He'd be good. He'd
He'd
actually
be good.
Really
he's
good.
got the look.
Actually, take it back.
He's still
Fassbender.
he's still a little older
Michael
now.
Fassbender.
Fassbender is my number one choice now. He's definitely because he's got that suaveness about him. He might be more
Yeah.
suave than any of those guys we mentioned.
Chris
Who's
Pratt.
Fassbender.
Chris Pratt's not English though.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt's
if
American.
they made a comedy James Bond, they should just make like a one-off comedy James Bond.
Mm.
Call it Burt Macklin. And yeah, that'd be dope. No, that was like what he's in Parks and Rec.
Mhm.
His character had like FBI alter ego that he made up called Burt Macklin. Like when shit was going on, he's like, Burt Macklin's on the case. They need to give him one of those movies.
I need to watch Parks and Rec.
You guys never seen Parks and Rec?
So I've seen some of them. I watched all of The Office. I've watched all of 30 Rock. So I probably should watch all of Parks and Rec.
It's basically just
the same thing.
The same thing as The Office. It's just as good as The Office.
They all have great casts too. The the Parks and Rec cast is ridiculous.
Yeah, I love that show. All right, whatever.
Oh,
what movie we're talking about?
Brimstone.
Super
Martin
8.
Koolhoven.
Yeah, this dude spent like 9 years trying to get this movie made. No one would give him money to do it, and I can see why.
Why?
The script of like,
Wonder why.
I'd rather not fund child abuse movies.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It only got an R rating.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot more movies that are just as fucked up as this in what they show. I feel like the thing in this movie is just like the realization
children.
that like, this dude is just like all about this too. He's like all fucking about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely the fuckery of the children. Like
for sure.
The dude trying to fuck his daughter and his granddaughter later.
Yeah, it's
while his daughter watches.
Which
so we don't know that he's the father until the third act, right?
Yeah. Well, I didn't at least.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. It is a third act.
Second one is like the flashback. Boy, this was confusing.
Yeah.
This was a long, confusing movie.
I didn't love this movie, but I appreciated the structure and how it like revealed itself. It almost like in a way of it kind of Pulp Fiction us in a way.
Very Tarantino-y.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's the thing I think about too. Is
start
like,
it where
I necessarily like you can't really enjoy this movie too much, and that like you're like, hey, this is a great movie to watch, but I respect this movie. I think it's a well-made movie.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good movie to talk about on a podcast.
It's a good movie. It is a good movie.
Yeah, it's a well-made film.
Yeah, It was pretty well made. It was slow, but it was
it dragged.
Yeah, it definitely dragged.
They could have cut. It's with these long movies. These movies, like specifically, a lot of movies we've watched, they just have lingering shots. Just shots linger.
It's called artistic shots.
I know it's great, but you could cut out fucking 45 minutes of this movie.
You could.
If you just cut a little earlier, you didn't watch
you
all the way. I loved it. I think it was beautiful. It is beautiful.
Yeah,
but
it's a good movie.
Jesus, these shots lingered.
Movies with snow are always pretty cool. Like you can if you can capture winter in a beautiful
Snow?
way.
So listen, another thing about that is like that's what I loved about the opening of Hateful Eight. Those awesome fucking like snow shots, and the whole time I'm like, yo, this movie's got to end where they go out into that fucking town and have a huge shootout in the snow. And if that would have happened, that would have been top 4 Tarantino.
No,
at least
Channing Tatum shows up and it goes to shit.
Fuck, man, that movie was so anticlimactic because of that.
I did not climax.
Anyway, back to Brimstone.
Yeah.
Should we talk about it?
Also had a very intriguing opening.
What was
the opening? Was the girl with the silly quote and the water getting bullets?
Oh yeah, when the bullets are shooting in the water. Yeah.
It was the full circle fucking thing. Like we figure out what in the beginning what it is at the end, but
we start at the beginning, get a glimpse of what's happening, and it's really fucked up, and then we see why that happened, why the immediate situation caused that to happen, and then we see what caused that immediate situation to happen years before that, and then we go back to the beginning, which was the end. It was good.
So it's broken up.
Once I figured that out, it was great.
Exodus, Genesis, and Retribution, and each one of those is like a 25-minute segment that completes this story in an order that is not chronological.
It would have been cooler if they were all 25. If they
it is chronological, just backwards.
Well, it was like it would have been like 3, 2, 1, and then 4. Is if it was like in that sense.
1, 4,
like
which was the end of 1.
Yeah. Well, the 1 would have been when she was like a child. But yeah, sure.
What I loved about the opening of this movie what I love about the opening of this movie, not the opening scene, but when like they're in the church and Dakota Fanning hears this guy for the first time, is her face. And you see her face and she's like, "Oh fuck." And I was like, "Oh, that was really good." Like I was super interested at that point. I was like, "Why is she so freaked out just hearing this dude fucking talk?" And I was like, that's super super well done. I was like, I was in when that happened. I was like, because she's hanging with her
In the
daughter
church
and
or no?
in
Oh
the
yeah,
church,
yeah.
and then
Okay. Yes, yes,
yeah,
yes,
and
yes.
then it just shows her face, and she's just
Yeah.
like, oh
Yeah.
fuck, and she like
Some
slowly
shit's
turns
going down.
around, and then yeah, I was like, oh okay, I was like, all right, I'm into this. I was like, this is because my I was told that this movie was like really really fucked up and dark, and I was also told that like if you can get through the first couple minutes that it'll be something worthwhile, and I
Oh,
agree
that
with
first minute was like an overly long birthing scene. That was pretty yucky too. That was really where it
Yeah.
started. Was she was like she was
The
helping
first birth, yeah.
yeah, she was helping the woman after like that kind of like vague cold open of like the quote and the bullets going through the water.
Yeah.
Then it cuts to like our first main act, and then it's like her because she's what is she, a midwife or something? She's like helping some
Well,
She
she's
woman
just a
just
give
wife.
birth.
Yeah.
she'd done this before.
Yeah,
That's,
and then
she's lived quite the life.
right, and then the baby dies while she's giving birth, and for some reason, I think that's what we're starting to think. At least I thought that's why this guy's coming to punish her, because the guy, the preacher
Yes.
later shows up and he's like, "I'm coming to punish you for what you've done."
But she aborts the baby. The baby doesn't just
Yeah.
die. And they show
Well,
it too. They
yeah.
show the
Yeah.
Because
baby.
it's either the
Ugh.
baby or the woman's
Yucky.
gonna die. It was one of those two,
Yes,
right?
there
That
was.
was kind of the
She
scenario.
made the choice.
She saved the woman. Killed the baby to save the woman.
which is
Yeah.
which is God's choice.
Right, and that
Should be God's choice. That's
yeah,
what it
and
was,
that's
isn't
why
it?
you think he's there. You're right. That's why you
Yes.
think he's there for. Yeah. It's dark, dude.
yeah.
Well,
So
and then
heavy open.
and then fucking that dude, the husband is the one that gets her in the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Old Joseph or Philip or whatever.
Bro, people are fucked.
Twisted.
That was the husband of that woman.
Yeah,
I didn't even realize
he
that
became
he
the sheriff up in
Oh wow! I
Decatur
didn't even make that connection. That's
or
cool.
Bismuth.
Yeah,
He fucking.
I
Come
thought he
on.
just. I
You guys
thought he
watched
just.
this movie
I
or
thought
what? Am I the only one that saw this?
Well, because he was in the very beginning, the very end. But you're
Yeah.
right. I just totally
Yeah.
forgot. I forgot that was the
Twisted.
same character. Yeah, wow.
Twisted. My first word was twisted.
Yeah.
Twisted.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then what happened?
So this is
It's-
not
it's
the
cra-
sequels to Signs.
It's crazy that too, like back then, like how simplified life was. Like even the scene when after she aborts the baby and the husband comes to shoot up their house and the guy's like, we don't want any beef with you. He's like, I have no beef with you. I just want beef with your wife.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I just
what?
wanna
Like,
kill
I'm
your
not gonna
wife.
let you. I'm not gonna let you kill my fucking wife, dude. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Let's
it's just
talk
crazy.
Let's talk about this tomorrow.
Yeah,
And
let's sleep
then
on it.
Priest comes
Yep.
and saves them from a sticky
Yep.
situation.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Only
yeah,
because he wants to inflict the pain himself. You know what I mean? He doesn't want him to get him to be able to kill her. He wants to be able to do it himself.
Boy,
Which is
in the
which
name
is
of
so-
God.
and that's another thing that is crazy. Like he did all of this in the name of God. Like his
Because he's a
religion.
man of the cloth.
His religion is why he wanted to bang his daughter. His religion why is he wanted to throw away his wife and marry his daughter because his religion.
His religion, no, his religion is was his excuse. It was his justification.
right.
That's what I'm saying.
For it, and that's not why. I mean, he'll do it with or without religion, but he uses that.
Yeah, that was his excuse.
As
But
his
would he?
excuse,
But we don't know that. We don't know that though. We only
He's
know
a-
that he
he's
uses
just a
his religion as
lunatic.
that.
I mean, that's just kind of how it goes in a lot of those like religious fanatics. Like they're pretty much just fanatical type people. Then they kind of buy into this way, and then because of that
Yeah.
way, they can use that as a big grand excuse and justification and like drive almost of like why they want to do these things. They can say it's in the name of God, but
Like
really it's because they're
priests.
just fucking assholes. Yeah.
They're just baby touchers.
Well, do you know what this made me research, which I had never researched before, but
Ooh,
was the
let's
Spanish
guess.
Inquisition. The
Oh.
Spanish Inquisition. You guys ever read about that?
I know it's fucked up.
I don't know much about
the
it.
Catholic Church killed so many people in the name of God because they were trying to
Cleanse.
make their thing a thing. And the thing was too is that there's a great movie by Darren Aronofsky called The Fountain, where there's a big plot about the Spanish Inquisition that when I watched that back in the day, I never really got it, but now I rewatched it and I was like, damn, like that was a really good plot point for that movie. It was really interesting. If you guys haven't watched The Fountain, you should check it out.
Yeah, The Fountain's dope.
Fountain's great. I actually thought about doing that for this podcast.
That'd be a good choice. I've thought about that one for a while. That's a good
I
think that's my favorite Aronofsky. It's kind of like a random one to have as my favorite, but I think it is. I've always liked that one because it's good. Same idea with like a really interesting structure to it. Anthony, you haven't seen it, have you?
No, I'm thinking about all the people the Christians killed.
We should make this guy see it. I mean, it's so many religions. It's like deep in like.
What about the Crusades? That was a fucking That was the same thing. Boy, they done did a lot.
You guys seen Silence?
Yeah.
That's kind of all about that. Like the what are they? Missionaries were going into like spread the word of Christianity to Japan, and then like
they got murdered.
They're just getting murdered for spreading the word because what are they, Buddhists in Japan? That was kind of the surprising part. I think the people that were killing them were Buddhists, and they were trying to like stop them to spread the word. Yeah, which is insane
because they're all about peace.
Yeah, I know that was the surprising part with like the silence. I was like, that was Buddhist? What?
Dude, Scorsese.
Yeah, but Buddhists are badass.
Bro. When Scorsese tackles like something like that, it's just so good. It's so fucking good.
Scorsese.
That scene when fucking he's talking to God is so crazy. Like I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. What movie were we watching?
The Brimstone
sequel to Signs.
The movie opens up. With Dakota Fanning on a boat in the middle of the fucking like a river.
No, we don't see her there.
Oh, we don't see her there?
No, we just
see the gunshot.
I don't remember the beginning at all.
You see, I just watched the beginning and end this morning just to remind myself. It's just there's just a shot of water, and then it's the quote that she says the same thing at the very end of the movie, like,
I hope she was thinking about me. Oh, okay. Yeah. I do remember. And so now we know that was the great granddaughter.
No, the granddaughter.
That was just
her granddaughter, the great granddaughter of Mr.
Pierce.
His character, the preacher.
Yes.
What was his name? Did he have a name in the?
I don't think he did.
He was just the
father.
Koolhoven.
Daddy. Call him Daddy.
It was confusing.
He was called the Reverend.
Okay.
So that was the end, and then it cuts to the beginning, which is the technically almost the end.
Yeah, it would have been, if you put it in order, the first act would have been the third part.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. Because then you go from there, then you go to the whatever, when she's basically a whore for a while.
Yeah. So we see. So well. Let's finish the beginning. So the guy comes to her house. The priest, Mr. Pierce, the daddy. He comes to the house. He's talking to the daughter. The next day, he fucking slaughters their lambs and locks Dakota Fanning in the barn while he talks to the daughter and tells the daughter that Dakota Fanning's a fucking murderer because she had to abort the baby to save the mama.
Yep.
And then she comes out. Everyone's freaking out. And then that night, he comes back and murks her husband.
But one thing we can't leave out is that she's a mute, and we're not quite sure why she's a mute.
She's a mute.
We just know she can't talk.
Yeah, and at first I thought she was dead. We all thought.
Too.
I thought she was signing to the daughter, so thought she was deaf, but no, she's a mute. And we do figure that out when he comes to the house. He goes, "It's an affliction of the tongue, not your fucking ears." We find that out right before he then kills her husband.
Oh.
What happened?
Oh, he's frozen. He's paused in time.
He looked like he was about to say something. He was very excited.
I know his face is all stoked to say something interesting, but probably wasn't going to be interesting. Let's be honest here.
So he comes back the next day, stabs the husband.
Yep.
The wife finds the husband. Oh, the husband says, "Why'd you do this to me?" And he says, what does he say? Because she loves you. So like this
That's
dude's
right.
got something out for this
Yeah.
lady. We don't know. We don't know what's going on yet, but he's got it out for her.
Yeah, that shit was cold.
She finds him and has to kill him. Oh no, the kid, her son kills him.
Yeah. It's not even her son. It's the son. It's the father. It's the guy's son, and then they have a daughter together.
Yes, we learn that later. But as
Yes.
far as we know, now there's he begs her to kill him because he's in so much pain. Son comes in, takes the gun, does the job, and then they burn the house down, get in the chariot, and fucking take off.
No, they don't burn the house down. Guy Pearce burned the house down.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Fuck.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I thought they did
because
too.
I was thinking,
I wasn't
why
sure.
would they fucking just burn that? That's like, what a waste. Like how in that time, you know how much effort and resources it would take to build that shit. I was just
Which
looking
that
at
guy probably built by himself.
yeah, made with the help of his fucking 12-year-old son.
Yeah.
I was just looking
Yo,
at
the way
stack
that
of
guy
firewood.
got murked, the way that guy got murked too.
Yeah.
The way that guy got murked, I didn't understand what was happening at first. Like, I was looking at it and I was like, what the fuck is around his neck? And then they zoom out and it's his fucking intestines, dude. I was like, holy shit, that's crazy.
What?
I
I
got
didn't.
straight disemboweled.
Yeah,
and
see,
then
he cut
wrapped up.
open his fucking belly, took out his intestine, and wrapped it around his fucking neck and choked him out with it.
Yucky.
Oh.
Yeah, that was insane.
I didn't see that. I mean, I saw
Yeah.
the thing. I saw something around his neck. Now that you say that, but
Dude,
Yeah,
that's what
it took
he
me a
did.
minute to realize it too.
Fuck.
Within like once, yeah, you're right. That
No wonder
wide
he was in
shot,
so
you're
much
like,
pain.
Oh, that's fuck.
his guts was outside.
That was fucking crazy. And I broke out, so I don't know if you talked about this, but the first scene when Guy Pearce came to the house and was talking to the husband, and the husband went to look for Dakota, and she's literally on the other side of the wall, and Guy Pearce is like, I know you're there. And he's like, I know you know what I'm here for. And I was just like, dude, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? Like,
and
the
that's
fuck
when
is
we learned that
happening?
we also know she can hear.
Yes, he said that. He's like, I know you can hear me. There's nothing wrong with your. You might not be able to talk, but I know you.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with your hearing. Yeah. I was like, what the fuck is this, man? This is so interesting. That's what I think. That's what I think about this movie is that it definitely keeps you interested. Like, if it would have been told in the order that it happened, it wouldn't have been as good because it would have been just like, oh, okay, this is just icky, like Jake said.
Yeah, the reveals made it interesting. Like
Yeah.
what's going on? Like why is this guy fucking? What's his deal with her? And then so we got to the part where the husband dies.
Yeah.
So they take off. They run. And
Yeah.
when they run, that's the end of that first act. Essentially.
Yep.
Which
And then
which
is crazy.
Which does
and then
come
it,
back
and then
around.
Yes.
And then it flips to. Does it flip to her as a kid, or does it flip to the whorehouse?
It cuts to her laying in the
cuts to
middle
her
of
and the
in the middle of the
Yeah.
desert, and the Chinese guy
and
picks
the and the
her up.
Chinese family. The Chinese
Yep.
family comes and picks her up, and you're like,
and they take
you're
her
like,
to Frank.
and they take her to Frank. Which at that point you're like, oh, okay, you know what's happening because you can. This guy just looks like a fucking scumbag.
And then
And he
she
takes
goes-
her in.
Frank, yeah,
up there.
Frank.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Frank runs the cat. Frank
Yeah.
runs the local whorehouse.
Yeah. So he takes her there, sells her to him, and she comes up as a young girl who's a prostitute.
Yeah, we see. And again, at first I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I thought this was Dakota Fanning. Was this the child that we just saw?
Which it is.
from the end of the first
The first act.
first
So
act.
you thought it was Dakota Fanning's daughter.
I was very confused. I
Yeah.
thought it was Dakota Fanning's daughter, and then it just really slowly dawned on me. And I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah.
on purpose that
Yep.
what the fuck was going on, and then it cuts to her.
Yeah,
It cuts
which
to
I
Dakota
think is a
Fanning, and that
very,
was it.
which I thought was a very awesome way to do it because you're not quite sure what you're or who you're watching, which is interesting. That was really cool. And then when you realize it's her, you're like, okay, cool. So they're gonna tell her backstory of how she got there, which is dope. Which I thought was really cool.
For some reason, I almost thought it was an anthology movie for a second.
Like a
I'm
bunch
like,
of just stories.
a completely
I'm like,
different
oh,
story.
is this 4 different
It
fucking
kinda
movies? Or
is.
are we gonna do this?
It
And
does
I thought that's what
link.
it was for a second. But it's I mean it's 4 different separate stories, but they're all the same character.
It's all
They tell the
cohesive.
story.
Yeah.
Cohesive.
They literally like go from one point to the other. I don't want to jump too much ahead, but at the end of the next part when she's younger again, like the end of when she runs away and the third part, because the first 3 parts end with her running away.
Yes.
You look at it, and then they all connect back at like pretty much the same time, more or less. Because as she runs away in the last part, or in the third part, it opens with her just in the desert laying, because she's probably from her running away. It's like literally like the same like next scene is what it would be, but it's in a whole different area of the movie, which is I think a cool the structure. Like, I think I appreciate the structure of that.
I don't think
how it revealed itself.
I don't think this movie is as good if it's not in this structure, only because it would
I agree.
It would be just pretty, not that it's simple, but it wouldn't be as intriguing as to what's going on. You'd just be like, oh, like I might have turned this movie off if it wasn't like this, because I don't think I would have wanted to watch this dude do that.
Yeah, no, because you're wondering. At first, you're wondering what the fuck is going on, and then you're wondering why did this happen, and then you're like, oh, that's what's going on. And then you forgot that you were wondering about what the fuck was going on in the first scene. So yeah, it just kept you wondering, which is probably what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think I wrote down like I didn't really like the beginning and end that much, but I liked the middle more because of like the reveals, like how they kind of tied it all together.
Well, there's a lot of fucked up shit going on. It gets more fucked up as it goes.
It really does.
Yeah,
everything's fucked up.
Yeah, it does.
So let's talk about some of the fucked up shit in the whorehouse.
She at the whorehouse, she loses her virginity at whatever age she went in, 13 years old, and maybe I don't know. She lost her virginity then, but
well, yeah, the dude, fucking. The guy, what's his name? The guy who runs the place. He's like,
Frank.
listen, it's time for you to lose your virginity, and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. So that happened. That's when it cuts to her being Dakota, and seeing Frank get in the gunfight, which was pretty funny. We see goings on. People are getting slapped around. The girl gets her tongue cut out because what happened? Why'd the girl get hung? First girl got hung. What did she do?
So back then, what the point of that was is that men had like all the power over women, and if you went into a whorehouse and got harmed by one of the whores, they were able to.
Oh
be
no!
punished.
This was when she was a kid. She was watching. The guy made her watch.
Oh yeah,
I think a girl acted self-defense. Yeah,
he pulled a gun on her, or the girl, the young Dakota pulled the gun. Didn't shoot him, and then when he got off the girl, the other girl shot and killed the dude. And
so hold on. Let's go back really quick. This dude wants to fuck young Dakota. They're like, nah, we can't. The one whore is like, no, I'm not gonna let you do that. He's like, all right, but I want her to watch. And the guy's like, all right. So he's getting off on the fact that this young girl is watching him fuck this old lady. And then not old lady, but older woman. And then Dakota's young character picks up his gun, points it at him, and says, I will kill you if you keep
because he was slapping the shit out of her.
He's punching. He was punching her. Like, and so she's like, and he's like, fucking, and then he's punch. Like,
either way, you were allowed to do that back then.
Exactly. And then he's like, yeah, keep the gun pointed at me. And you're like, oh, this guy's fucking crazy. And then eventually she pulls the trigger and you realize that the gun is not loaded. Oh, yeah. So this dude the whole time was like wanting this to happen. He didn't have the gun loaded so that he could get off on the fact that this bitch was trying to kill him, but she couldn't.
Kinky.
So because of that, the older lady, I keep saying older lady, this lady's probably like 25 years old. Yeah, she's older than Dakota. Yeah,
the woman.
So that lady kills this dude, and because she killed that guy, she gets hung.
She got hung. So we see that happen early on in the process. That's just like what happens.
They couldn't act in self-defense.
That's just what happens. Well, they're employees of Frank, and if they act out of they're sex slaves.
Yeah,
this movie's about sex slavery, child abuse, and fucked up times in the, I guess, 1800s.
Yeah. I wrote down a list of fucked up shit in this movie.
Oh, hit me with a number 3.
Hold on though. Don't
Oh, that
spoil
was-
anything we haven't
okay.
got to yet.
Well,
Keep
I
what-
won't. That was just sexual assault is what I wrote down
Yeah.
for number 3.
A
But
lot
that
of
was
Yeah.
sexual assault.
Yeah. Out of other things.
I mean, that scene that we just talked about is the first time you're like, oh wow. Like I guess the baby dying in the beginning is pretty oh wow.
Oh yeah,
But this one
number
was, like,
number
a
one
little
was
more,
dead
oh, wow.
babies.
Dead
Number one,
baby.
dead baby. Yeah.
Immediately,
Yeah.
dead baby.
Only
And
because
you
they
see
showed
the
it.
brain. Yeah,
Only 'cause they
what are they gonna
showed it,
say?
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, but that's what this movie is, man. It's a fucked up movie. They want you to feel that when you watch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I felt fucked up.
Certainly.
Yeah. All right, so
ahead.
keep going. So this guy gets killed by the prostitute. Dakota Fanning's young character watches this woman get hung, and then she realizes right there, like, all right, my life is now this. Boom, cut to you realize it's Dakota now. She's probably like 16, 17 years old, whatever the fuck she is. She's now, you realize, like, that's Dakota Fanning. She's a regular at this
16, 17.
whorehouse.
Oh yeah. Really? 16,
Right?
17?
Maybe, all right, maybe
May-
20, 21
maybe,
then.
Yeah, a young adult.
Sure.
Yeah, I
So
would say.
20. So,
Let's say early
Sorry.
20s.
all right, early 20s. And then she's just a regular. She's a prostitute now. This is what she does. And
She's a hoe for show.
you see how she's got comfortable with this life. And then what? I actually forget what the fuck, how it progresses from there. How's it progress from there?
So
Get the tongue girl.
she has a friend named whatever. She has a friend, the floppy haired friend, and they're basic. They seem like they're fucking. I don't know. Did they seem they were in love or?
No, it was
She
more
definitely
like
looked out for this
like a
girl.
mother-daughter
They were just-
relationship.
Oh, really?
That,
Mother-daughter?
no, well,
No,
you know,
sisters.
maybe
Remember,
older
'cause she said we're
sister.
sisters.
There we go. Sure, yeah, there you go.
In
Like
sign language.
it was more
So, anyways,
familiar relationship than
they're
a
best friends.
Sexual, I think.
Somewhere in the meantime, that girl ends up biting a patron's tongue because she didn't want to be kissed. So in retribution, so to speak, she got her tongue cut out. Doctor comes in, makes it nice enough, gives her the sign language book. Now we're seeing how Dakota Fanning learned sign language because her best friend, she has to learn sign language because she ain't never going to talk again. She's got a fucking
Did
tongue
you
cut.
guys notice the books? What
Yeah.
the book said? Book for the deaf and dumb. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's what
Oh.
they used to call people that can't talk. Was just dumb.
I think that they used to call it like
That was just like the term.
they were just dumb. Now it just means Schwartz.
Yeah, it was. Now it's
Got 'em.
mute. They say mute. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, deaf, dumb, mute. It's all the same to me. Meanwhile,
It's a motto.
we got Guy Pearce coming in next scene, rents out the whole place. Going through the ladies.
Oh,
What
yeah.
happened? What happened? He goes through. He's like talking to all.
He rents out the whorehouse, basically buys out the whole place,
Yeah.
and then he picks Dakota because she's like the youngest one.
Well,
and he says this
and
is
he
the
was
one.
he was looking. He said this is the one. He wanted that
Yes.
one because I mean we didn't.
Yeah.
Again, we don't know why he's looking. We don't even know if he's looking for her yet because
Yeah,
we
we
know
don't
he's
know
looking
the
for her in the
relationship
future. We don't know, but we don't know what's going on yet. And we see that he's Benjamin Buttoning. He doesn't have his scar, so we know he's
Yeah.
younger now. He finds her. He takes her in the room. We still don't know why he's after her, but he calls her by her name. We know he knows who she is. He says, I need you to help me, help you, help me. And she's like, get the fuck out of here. And he's like, you leave me no choice. And he pulls his fucking belt out and just starts beating the shit out of her. Oh, then what happens? I think her friend comes in with the gun.
Yeah.
Does
And then-
does she shoot him?
Well, I think she has a knife.
Oh,
and that's
she-
what the slashing of
She
the
cuts.
eye.
Yep,
does
she
the eye
cuts. She
slash.
cuts his eye, and then Dakota cuts his throat, and then they book it.
Yep.
They go into Frank's room. They kill Frank. Or no, she had killed Frank
Which
right
was
before that.
awesome.
Oh, I don't think we know that yet, though. we don't know that she.
I couldn't remember the placement of the Frank killing, but yeah, she
Yeah,
killed
we
Frank
don't
at
learn
some
that
point.
until the very end, the very, very, very end. We see the flashback of that. But anyway,
No, I think we knew that. I think they showed that. Didn't
they show
that?
it in the very, very, very end.
I thought they showed
when
it
the guy
during.
comes in to, cause we don't see Frank get killed. We just see her come in with the knife. They slide because she kills Frank before that.
Oh, so Frank's just in there dead?
Frank's dead already before
I
that.
don't remember that happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, but
which I just realized now.
To go back though, the reason why after she kills or cuts Guy Pearce's throat, the reason why she cuts her tongue off is because she wants to pretend to be the other chick because she.
Doesn't Guy Pearce?
Guy
Pearce kills her.
Guy Pearce takes the knife, kills her friend.
Yup.
Yeah. And her friend was about to leave and go to
arranged marriage,
old fucking arranged marriage, old fucking Wester way.
Yep.
And she had like a pen pal or something. Like
but they were gonna get married though.
They were it was a marriage broker. Yeah, it was like so he just found someone that was like, hey, you cool with a no tongue lady? And it showed the picture of the husband from the beginning. Yeah, so it was only around then that I started I realized we're back right before that. Like it took me a while to figure out exactly what was happening. And so when she came in, he killed her. He killed her, and then she took all of what she was about to take, went all Wester way, and found that dude
cut off her tongue and pretended to be her
to convince everyone that it was her. She cut her fucking tongue off. Brutal. Yucky. Even
yucky.
I mean, she survived though,
and then she runs away. Well, yeah, she had a guy. She had a doctor do it, but he wouldn't do it.
No, the doctor wouldn't do it. She did it herself.
So she did it herself, but then he cleaned it up.
Yeah, and then the movie fucking jumps to a whole new story.
Jumps
where
back again.
Well, no, it jumps to two dudes like lying on a fucking floor after they just got like in a gunfight, which is Jon Snow.
Yep, Jon fucking Snow.
Yeah, and then they get out of there. They get out of there on the horse. And they fucking the horse. They both got on a horse. Yes. Yeah,
they got a couple of horse.
Yeah. And then that cuts back. That cuts back to that. Also, it also when they go to it, they show that it cuts back to when she's young again, and then she hides these dudes. She hides these dudes in their stable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Not to mention that now we know that
the father is the minister.
I think yes.
Guy Pearce is her daddy.
We see Guy Pearce come in and say, "Joanna, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you." I don't know, and then he starts beating his wife. I mean,
also she's the witch from Game of Thrones.
Who?
The wife is the witch from Game of Thrones, the one who kills Stannis' daughter.
Okay, she's looks different, obviously.
With the Red Witch
made up very differently,
witch,
but I thought there was some familiarity there.
Yep,
that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, this is Game of Thrones all over this fucking movie,
bro. When I saw her face in this movie, the first thing I thought about is when they burned that chick in Game of Thrones. I was like, that was so crazy.
The girl.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
A scene like that would have been very fitting for this movie. Just right along the road of ickiness.
Yeah.
So now we're back in the day. We know that it's her dad. We cut into we see that her dad is very abusive, but again, spouting the same shit. Her dad is Guy Pearce again, Benjamin Buttoning. He's even younger now, real suave looking, great chin beard. Still a preacher.
Dude, his chin beard's awesome, but he's got no fucking mustache. He looks like a fucking idiot.
That's the chin part. It's very Amish. It's the Amish look. It's the Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, it's true. He's got the Lincoln.
He's got the fucking Lincoln.
We see Honest Abe.
Even back in the day, in fact, it seems like they had just come here from old Dutch land, and he's the preacher, and he's trying to convert everyone to being American, only speaking English. He gets mad at the wife because the kid's speaking Dutch. And he beats the shit out of her. He doesn't like that she's not fucking as much as he wants, which makes him turn to the daughter.
Yeah, well, she kind of realizes that he's kind of lusting after her even before that, and I think that's part of the reason why she starts not to want to be with him.
Well, she sees how weak her mom is and how she's just following the word or whatever.
And he also places his wife in what they call the Skull's bridal. I mean, the Scold's bridal, which is basically a punishment that fucking people.
This is just Westworld. This is what Westworld would be if Westworld was a real place.
I wasn't sure if they had a name for that thing. I thought that was what they called the Iron Maiden, but that was just in my head.
The Iron Maiden's the big thing with the spikes in it.
Oh yeah.
You ever seen Matilda?
Maybe.
Yeah. Never mind.
I know it's like a torture
Danny DeVito movie.
Miss Trenchbolt had a kind of an Iron Maiden.
Okay, I remember. I saw it when I was a little kid.
Anyway, we're back in the good old days.
So
rampant prostitution, so he puts outhouses, and wife whipping.
So he puts the Skull's bridle on her. She's like all distraught because of this. And then the daughter's like, "Why do you let him do this to you?" She's like, "I would die before I let him do this to me." Cut to the mom.
Well, Kit Harington kind of put that seed in her brain.
Sure, but still though, she had her first realization. Her first realization of this is fucked.
This is fucked. Says that to her mom.
And
her mom immediately
in the church
because of her daughter's words immediately gets up, walks over, puts a fucking noose around her neck, and hangs herself in the middle of the church.
In the middle of the congregation.
In the middle of the church.
Some baller shit.
Boy, that's gotta fuck up her brain.
And then probably my favorite scene in the movie.
100% it was her fault. Because her mom hung herself. 100%.
Well, not her fault. It was the fault of the father wanting to fuck the daughter. Yeah.
It's you to blame.
But then my favorite scene is the next scene when Guy Pearce goes to try to marry his daughter, and then Jon Snow walks in. You're like, oh great, this dude's gonna fucking save the day. And then boom.
But we know
Guy
he doesn't.
Pearce murks this fucking dude. Killed him. And I was just like, holy shit. That was my favorite scene in the movie.
I wrote down Jon Snow saves the fucking day, and then I scribbled it out.
Yeah. Because you're like, oh, great. This dude's going to make it all better. And then he just dies. And you're just like, oh, shit. It's like, now what? Like,
now what? He rapes his daughter.
Now what? And then he fucking does, dude. Oh, my God. This movie's so fucked, bro. This movie is so fucked. And then she runs off after he whips and rapes her. And then it cuts to the next part, which is the final part, which is called Retribution.
Yes, which is the end of the first part. I guess it's the beginning of the first part, end of the second part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. So cuts because the second the first part is really the first scene, not the first shot. The first part of him coming, we don't know what the fuck is going on. Now we know everything that happened. We know why he's chasing after her. Mm-hmm. We know who he is. We know who she is. We know who the kid that's running the horse is, and we know who her daughter is. It just picks up right after that. They're going through the forest. They hear noises. The kid jumps off. The kid gets shot and killed. The son. Then what happens?
He kills the kid. Matthew is the kid, and he gets killed by Guy Pearce. And then he then the next scene is Guy Pearce tells Dakota Fanning that he's going to rape and marry her daughter, which we now know.
Wait, no. So whose house did they end up? Yeah. Whose house did they end up at? Who was that guy?
They found that. Oh, no. I think that guy just offered them to stay there, didn't he? Like he.
That was the father-in-law. That was her husband's father. He said something about go.
He was hoping he would make this a sawmill.
Take him to the woods or take him.
Oh yeah.
So Guy Pearce murks that guy.
Guy
and the kid. And
that scene was pretty crazy when she's sitting out on the porch. She's waiting. She's just standing guard with a gun, and she hears his voice, and he just says, "Don't try to shoot from that distance." And she lets off a few shots. Doesn't get. He's just standing there as she's shooting at him, knowing that she's gonna miss. He goes, your mother fucked me, didn't fuck me. Your mother didn't fulfill her womanly duties. Yeah. So I went to you. You didn't fill your womanly duties. Luckily, I found a replacement. I'm gonna fuck your daughter, and I'm gonna whip your daughter. And then what happens? He fucking whips the daughter. Does he fuck
which is
her?
his
I don't know.
granddaughter.
Yeah,
That's
so
his granddaughter.
He whips the shit. Yeah, at that point you're like, well, good thing Dakota Fanning with this gun's gonna kill him. No, she's like, she. Oh, what? He goes, oh, you shouldn't have left your daughter alone. She runs inside. Daughter's fine, but the old man's dead. Fucking Guy Pearce grabs her, ties her up while she watches him whip her daughter, his granddaughter. Go
with
on.
intent to marry. Yeah.
God, you guys know all these torture tools. You guys are sick.
So what happens there? Like, what happened? I don't forget how Guy Pearce gets taken out.
She gets loose.
Yeah.
And
how does he die?
She gets loose. He stands up. She takes a candle with oil in it, smashes it, starts him on fire, and then shoots him out the window. But here's the thing:
he's burning.
As he's burning, what does he say?
As he's burning, he doesn't react even. In that point in my head, I was like, wait, is there some supernatural elements to this? Like,
no, he's just standing there and he says, the flames aren't the worst part of hell. It's the lack of love.
Yeah.
And then she shoots him and he falls out the window. And in my mind, he Michael Myers out of there. He's still alive. He's wandering around. He's going to kill the great-great-granddaughter.
At that point, you're like, fuck, is there some supernatural elements to this? Because he doesn't even react as he's getting burned alive.
And he's already gotten shot. He's already gotten stabbed. He's already gotten his throat slit. Like this guy, at that point, I was thinking too.
Is some of that?
Maybe he's invincible.
Is there some of that in this?
Do you think he died in the end? I don't think he died.
You don't see him die.
No, we see him come out he falls out the window, and then it cuts to her logging.
Yeah,
she's fucking logging. She's dropping logs.
We never got a Brimstone 2. Judgment Day.
Brimstone 2, Electric Boogaloo.
True. Brimstone 2.
Exodus.
Should we fucking make Brimstone 2 and try to make it more fucked up than this one?
No.
Yeah, I think we should.
Make it more fucked up like Human Centipede 2.
I don't want to make a movie like that. Yeah. More abuse.
Well, that's how. Oh, so it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there.
It doesn't. Oh,
are you frozen, Schwartz, or are you thinking about the supernatural aspect? Damn it, he's frozen.
He looked deep in thought, but he's just frozen. Oh no, he's back. I saw him blink. Cool.
I'm back.
So what did we talk about, or what are we thinking about the supernatural aspect? Is he supernatural or not?
I don't.
Is he Michael Myers?
The only time I thought of that was when he was getting burned alive and his facial expression didn't even change, where he just looks at her and says that. I was like, is this dude a fucking demon or something? So I don't know.
He is a fucking demon.
Maybe he is. Yeah, maybe he is. Maybe he's straight up fucking sent from hell to fuck with people. That makes it a little bit more. I don't want to say
palatable.
I don't want to say it makes it easier to digest that he would do this to people, because you would hope that a preacher wouldn't want to ever do this to anybody, even in the name of God. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we know that they do.
That they do, and they have, and it's recorded in history. It's proven fact that
we
shit
know.
Is
no, the Pope's like, I'm sorry.
Me spaghetti. I'm sorry.
We just moved him to a different town. It's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
He'll learn his
lesson. Do that.
Fresh crop of kids.
He's a Boy Scout leader now.
Yeah.
What would you be in the West world? I think I would want to be the blacksmith that makes those fucking masks, those wife masks.
I don't know. I never thought about it.
Like, I want to specialize. What are they called? The Mask of Doom.
Oh, hold on. I gotta look at it again.
Wives.
Scold's Bridal.
Scold's Bridal. Yeah. I would make like the super fancy ones, so that even when they're wearing them, they'd be like look lacy.
It's like pretty.
Yeah.
Like pretty. Yeah. Or
so
one
for the wife in the iron mask.
Yeah. One has like gemstones and shit on it.
Sure.
Yeah. So okay, let's finish it. So he gets burnt alive, cut to what's her name, cutting wood, and
Chopping
then
wood and then
she's at like a lumber mill. It's her new jam, her new family.
Yep.
Daughter's playing in the distance. Everything's seems good. Number one, why do we even need this scene? Number two, good God, this movie's long.
Oh.
Number three, can this girl get a fucking break? Number four, I know nothing good's gonna happen. So go ahead.
Seemingly happy ending. Then
Kinda, because she
who pulls
smiles
up?
once and then I 1000% expected it to be the priest. I 1000%. I was like,
Yeah.
motherfucker, did not die. That didn't
Fucking Terminator, dude.
fucking.
He just has like burnt a little bit of burnt scars and shit. That's
He's
it.
Two-Face now.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. He's flipping a coin on the boat.
But then you come to realize that the guy from the beginning who got hurt by the whore who got her tongue cut out is now the sheriff.
No, that's not him.
Then who is it? It's the guy from the beginning with the baby.
Abortion, yeah.
Okay, so
It's
abortion
guy she killed.
Okay.
She aborted his baby.
So the abortion guy's now the sheriff of a new town and finds Dakota Fanning and is like, "Hey, babe, I'm here to fucking get my retribution." And
No. Well, he takes over as sheriff from a town and finds a wanted poster of her with her name on it. And she says she has no tongue, and she killed Frank for Frank's murder. And that is when we see her remember the flashback, and we see the curly hair girl kill Frank, and then stab Frank, and then come back and kill her. No, her name was Liz the whole time. Her name's Liz the whole time.
No, Dakota Fanning was Joanna or Johanna.
Yeah, Joanna. Liz
then
was
she
the name
became
of the
Liz.
girl. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Sure. After,
And then she took her identity.
Right. That's
so,
right.
Basically, adult.
That's right.
Dakota
So
Fanning became Liz.
he thought she was killing Liz. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you know what scene we didn't
Okay.
talk
Well,
about?
then shit. Was it the girl that got her bit? The bit.
No. The poster was for the other girl.
Yeah,
but he saw that it was
yes,
her.
yes.
But because she took her identity,
Names. Confusion.
that guy thought that was the same Liz.
Her name was Liz because
Or
he only knew her as Liz.
And that's how, and then she
And
was
so
hold
he
on,
finds
hold on
the
a second,
wanted
though.
poster of Liz that killed Frank. It's wanted, so he fucking tracks her down.
Yeah,
So
okay.
He already had a little
scene-
vendetta
Can't
against her
can't
because
catch
he
a break.
killed her baby.
A scene that we didn't talk about that I thought was probably the scene that got to me the most as far as fucked upness was the scene when the father, a random father, comes to confront Frank, the leader of the brothel, and is like, "My daughter is dead because of you. And there's probably thousands of daughters that are dead because of you." And he ends up killing them in the quick draw. And I was just like, fuck, man. Like, life was just like, life's hard now in so many ways, but back then, bro, like, people didn't even know what enjoying life was, man. Like, you didn't enjoy life back then unless you were rich. Like, you know what I mean? Like that.
Well,
it
was all in perspective. They didn't know what they were missing with computers and air conditioning.
Sure.
You don't know what you're missing.
Not
so
even just
they enjoy
just computers and air conditioning.
enjoy your
I'm
life.
About just fucking being able to not have to fucking think about someone coming to your house and killing you and taking your shit. You know what I mean? Like there's
TikTok.
law and order now. You know,
They didn't have TikTok.
No, fuck TikTok. I'm talking about just
Bummer
law
world.
and
It's
order.
fucked up because I just swatted you. They're gonna be there in 10 minutes.
Exactly. There you go. It's crazy how only 100 years ago life was just so different. Like we have it so good now, we just don't even realize it. Like seeing a movie like this, you just realize how fucking easy life is right now. We're just lucky to live in this time, man. And this time right now fucking sucks in so many ways, but it's better than living back then. I'll tell you that. I'd rather live through a pandemic than live through that.
Yeah, that the whole thing's like a pandemic.
Yeah,
I could have done it. I would have been a blacksmith. I would have been killing the game.
We would have had to have done it. We would have had to have. That's the thing. Now we at least we get the choice.
But I'm saying put us back now. You're dead immediately.
We'll see.
I'm fucking mayor.
I'm pretty sure I'm dead.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Jake's
I
probably
might
gonna die.
have gone.
I'm probably dead.
I might because I'm not a blacksmith and don't have any skills to live by
You go
myself.
politician?
I might have just Guy Pierced it, dude.
What does that
I
mean?
might just Guy Pierced it 100%. I would have just been.
You're just raping kids?
No. I guess it did
That's
sound like
fucked up.
Now we know the
Jesus
truth.
Christ.
Gotta entertain
Guy
myself
Pierce
somehow. What else am I supposed to do?
I mean, why not just go?
Shit.
Why not just go full evil, bro? Just go full evil. Fuck
If I
it.
don't
Why
have fucking
not?
TikTok,
Why
I'm
not?
gonna
Because
Guy
you're still
Pearce.
it's still human beings, and there's still
Yeah, but back then didn't seem to matter. You know, fuck it.
life always matters.
Not back then. It didn't. Those fucking prostitutes were fucking like just thrown around like rag dolls, bro. Their life didn't matter.
Their lives did matter. That's
It
the
did
point of the
matter
movie.
though.
Life matters. Then, but they just.
Why
had
did you enjoy?
terrible-
I feel like you enjoyed this movie for the wrong reason, Schwartz.
Probably.
No, this is the thing. I did not enjoy.
feel like you were watching this movie like-
wasn't.
Yeah.
This movie wasn't enjoyable, but it had characters that were fucking interesting. And I think characters that are bad people at heart are interesting. They're interesting to watch. People who don't learn from mistakes, people who repeatedly keep doing shit even though they know it's wrong. That's interesting to me. Anyway, where do you what are our clothing? Oh, we got to finish the end. What's the final? So say the final scene. What happens in the end?
What happens? So yeah, that was it.
She gets
So,
arrested. She's on the
she
boat.
gets arrested. She gets on the boat, and then she jumps off and kills herself.
And then
And
they
then
start
he may or
shooting.
may
and they
not
start,
have
then
shot
they
her.
start
I
shooting
don't
into
know.
the water just to make sure. And
But
then
you can't
But
shoot
the-
through water
but
like
her-
that. That's stupid.
So who's the little girl who's watching it happen?
That's her daughter.
His daughter, her daughter, granddaughter.
Okay, so that little
of
girl
Guy.
basically, not so like looked over and was like, "Oh, mommy's gone." Not, like, hopefully, Guy Pearce doesn't come back in the sequel and find the daughter. You know?
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
dude. And the daughter and the granddaughter, his great granddaughter,
Yeah.
and then he gonna try to fuck her.
It's going all generational. George is like, God, what a cool
fucked up
guy.
movie.
That guy needed to be stopped.
No, he's not a cool guy, Jake. He's fucked up. But he's interesting. He's definitely interesting.
It was
So yeah, the end of the movie, roll credits, and I was like this.
yucky guy.
Actually, you know what I thought? As soon as the movie was over, I can't wait for Jake to watch this movie. Jake's gonna love this movie.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I appreciate the storytelling of it. I liked the structure. It was well made, well shot. It was just
Cinematography was nice.
the plot itself
Cinematography
was
was good.
very just disturbing. I get what it was. It's not something I enjoyed. You said that earlier. It wasn't enjoyable to watch.
Would you watch it again?
No, not by choice. I
Not-
wouldn't even.
not-
I wouldn't even recommend.
I
it.
won't.
You won't recommend
I
it?
won't see.
Nah.
I would recommend this movie to people who like movies, who are like us, and who are like really like movies. But that's it. I wouldn't recommend this to like the casual moviegoer.
I mean, I
But
know a
won't
couple
watch this
people
movie
that I
again.
could recommend it to, but they're freaks.
Yeah, I wouldn't watch this again. There's no way I'd watch this movie again. I watched it twice, and I will never see it again.
Yeah, maybe if I was having a conversation with someone about disturbing movies or fucked up movies, like maybe I would throw this one out there for that
Yeah.
sake of the conversation, but I wouldn't recommend it to anyone random. Gonna
I
be
mean,
like,
what I
hey,
real-
hey, Dad, you should check out this Brimstone movie.
Exactly. What I also realized by watching this movie is it's in a way like a noir type of movie, because those old noir movies were all about like really fucked up people doing fucked up shit, and it's like a Western noir, which I also thought was like, we gotta do more film noir movies, especially like the old classic ones.
Yeah, bust them out. Be cool. Well, any other thoughts, feelings,
Thoughts or
comments
feels.
on the movie? Questions,
I mean, it's
complaints?
It's fucked up. It's
fucked
twisted.
up.
Okay, let me see. Kit Harington came in, killed his buddy while he was taking a shit. We didn't talk about that.
That was a
little
great scene. That was an
Oh,
awesome scene.
Oh, I
dude.
forgot about that. That
was
was
That was a
weird.
great scene.
that was it. That was another yucky scene.
Another yuck. He was pooping. I'm glad we didn't see. I half expected with how everything was going. I half expected to see like shit going everywhere too, but we didn't. He
Right.
hung him while he was pooping in the outhouse.
Yeah.
And then they fed him to the pigs. Now, can pigs eat bones?
Yes. Have you ever seen Hannibal?
That's a movie.
Oh, yeah, they
Yeah,
explained
but
it.
that's
It's not real
true.
life,
They feed people to pigs because they eat everything.
but they eat
In-
the bones too.
in
huh?
movie world.
Mhm. No, that look.
I've
Google
seen
it,
that
I'm
in
telling you.
movies.
Google
but
it.
I don't. I've never fed a whole body. Here, can a Pig.
I mean, I did once and it worked.
Uh,
So I'm telling you, it works.
body.
Schwartz fed up.
Ooh, I don't know if I should
Okay,
Google
cool.
this. This is fun. Somebody's gonna come to my house.
You're gonna be on a list. You're in
I'm
Texas, though. You're fine.
definitely gonna be on a list, and I'm in tech. Yeah, I can't. The fact that I even typed that in to Google, they know. I'm gonna search it on DuckDuckGo on my iPad.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
Stand by for the answer. Can a pig eat a whole body?
Should we rank it then? While waiting for this, in suspense for this answer.
Farmer eaten by pigs. Pigs eat man. Man eating pigs.
But the bones. Ask about the bones specifically.
Yeah.
Like, can pigs eat human bones? Yeah.
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 They can also digesting almost every part of the human body. They can not only chew and digest human flesh, they can also readily digest human bone without excreting a noticeable trace of it though they can't do human teeth. They're gonna poop out human teeth. So that's teeth is a giveaway.
Interesting.
I wouldn't trust it. You got to burn the teeth or something. Cool. Well, FBI is coming to my house. Rank it? You want to rank it? You want to rank old Koolhoven? Have you seen a picture of Koolhoven? He looks like Nick Frost.
I don't think I have. Let's pull up Koolhoven.
Koolhoven.
What else has Koolhoven done?
Only Dutch films up until that 2016, but I don't know what he's done after that.
Oh, okay. That's probably why I've never
Schwartz.
heard of or seen anything by him.
He hasn't done anything since.
Oh.
He's directed
Alright.
like three or four other movies before this, but nothing like you said. It's all been in Deutschland.
Why did you pick this? Like, where did you hear of this? What made you?
So my buddy
want us to
Mark
watch this?
Tomov, I asked him for a list of movies because he's a big movie geek too. I was like, "Yo, give me a list of movies for my podcast," and this was on the list. And he was like, "Yo, do you like Guy Pearce?" And I was like, "I love Guy Pearce." And he was like, watch this movie. It's fucked up." And I was like, "Perfect."
Okay.
Yeah, I have the whole list from him, so there will be a couple more thrown in there that'll probably be like this.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, hopefully this Mark Tomov guy knows what he's talking about for watching these
Yeah, he's-
recommendations.
He's a big movie geek. He gave me some good ones. A lot of film noir too.
So far, he sounds like a sick fuck.
Follow him on Instagram. Takes good pictures.
All right, cool. Well, shout out to Mark Toven. Am I saying the name right?
Toven?
Sorry. What is it?
Yeah, Tomov.
Tomov.
Tomov. Tomov.
Shout out to Tomov.
Shout out to the Big Cat. Shout out to Koolhoven and Deutschland.
Shout out to Ed.
Oh yeah, where we ranking it? I'm gonna go 20.
Just 20. Wow, you love
Number
this
20.
movie. This movie is fucking yucky.
I like the darkness, dude.
Yeah, you're a sick fuck.
Yep, that's true. That's true.
Number-
We can
That's also
agree with that.
true. Jake, where's your
Give
ranking?
me 10 jobs for cash.
Oh man, probably super low. I don't know what's super low. It's hard to say because this was like,
Low.
well, it was a well made. All right, right under MacGruber.
it's one of those well-mades.
number 60. Right under MacGruber. No, there's some movies I like. Never mind. 64 under Titan.
Titan.
Titan
Well,
was cool.
I'm ranking my movies with numbers now, and I gave this a 6.66,
All
and
right.
that's just how it averaged out.
Hell say.
And that's out of 10.
Okay.
And
Oh, so you're no longer ranking it on a list of it. You're ranking
yeah.
by,
Number
like,
20, number
IMDb
27.
numbers?
No, not
Nice.
IMDb numbers.
Well, I'm saying like they give it a number. People vote
Yeah.
on it, and it gets a number out of 10. So that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That's what I mean.
I was going more Barstool Sports. I mean, not Barstool Sports, but the guy who does the pizza.
Oh,
The guy
okay.
who started
So you
Barstool
said
Sports.
27. 27. Good. That's
Yeah,
a
I'll go
good, that's a good
27.
spot.
Wow.
Good spot.
All right.
That's a good number for that.
All right.
It's either that or 31.
You guys are some sick fucks. Wait, hold on. Is it better for you than Nightmare on Elm Street? Because Nightmare on Elm Street's 28
I see that.
on your list.
Yeah, let's go 31. 31 makes more sense.
Yeah. Sorry to tell you, influence your listing, but that
No,
surprised me
said
for a
either
second.
either or.
Yeah.
And now
when I saw Nightmare, I knew how you feel about Nightmare, so I was surprised.
What's it called?
Brimstone.
Brimstone.
I just opened the
And I'm
spot
also gonna
for it.
write I'm gonna start doing that. So let's see. I'm gonna start writing my number down.
How did you come to this number?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different categories. I rank them
Which
on a
Which
1 through
are?
10.
Which our categories are?
Secret. It's
Secret.
my ranking system.
All right.
That's how I do it.
Okay. All right.
On the next episode, we're going to learn more about this.
What would your
I like the mystery of it.
rank? Yeah.
Can we like
I'll tell
learn
you
one,
later.
like maybe one and like randomly at a time? Like you just introduced it. Next week, can we learn one of the categories?
Sure.
All right, cool. So something to look forward to.
You want to guess?
I think it's a few probably obvious ones of like cinematography.
There's one.
I mean, one of them's got to be cinematography, dialogue, acting.
Dialogue and acting will be different.
Would it be? Acting would definitely be a category, right?
Acting,
dialogue,
for sure.
Cinematography is it one?
Like script,
screenplay, dialogue, either one.
story.
Yeah, I'd put those together if I had one. If I had a
Well,
category.
Anyway,
actually, though, but
whose movie's next? Who's choosing next? Jake, do you have a
It's-
choice?
It's me.
Or should
Yeah,
we wait?
yeah, I got it. I'm gonna do.
You want to tell us? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll do Almost Famous from the year 2000.
From the year 2000.
Classic film.
Yeah.
Never heard of it. Never seen it.
Classic film.
It's good. I think
One
you'll
of-
like.
one-
You'll like it.
One of
You'll like it.
movies ever made, probably.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a good. It's a good music movie.
pretty great.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah, it's about musicians.
Sick. So next
Yeah.
week we'll watch. Is it streaming anywhere?
I think it's either on Prime or it might be on like Paramount now. I'm not really
Sick.
sure.
So check it out for free if you can. Listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Instagram. Shout out to Ed
And a big cat.
and Gordon Ramsay.
Reed Davidson. Whatever. Thanks for listening, everyone listening.
Thank you.